Okay, so we have another inequality. Remember that you treat it just like an equation, but the rules are slightly different when it comes to multiplying negative numbers or dividing both sides with negative numbers. That's the only time. Remember that multiplying or dividing by a negative number is going to change the direction of the inequality. If it's less than, it's going to change it to greater than. If it's greater than, it's going to change it to less than. Remember that. Okay, so the last two rules. Now, just like in an equation, we have to solve for A, and we have to solve the inequality for A. A is in parentheses, so what we need to do first is use the distributive property to simplify both sides first. 4 times 2 is 8. A plus 4 times 4 is 16 is less than or equal to 12. Subtracting a number, the same number from both sides, does not change the inequality. It remains less than or equal to 12 minus 16 is negative 4. Dividing both sides by a positive number. Remember, we are trying to solve for A, trying to get A by itself. 8 is multiplied to A, so we divide by 8. 8 is a positive number, so the direction of the inequality remains unchanged. So use the same inequality and divide both sides by 8. We cancel the 8s, becomes a 1. 1 times A is less than or equal to negative 4 times 2 is 8, negative half. So A is a number, any number less than half, negative half. So let's say this is a 0. Negative half is here, and A is less than negative half. So let's just graph the inequality. Is less than or equal to. So the difference here is we need to put a solid dot. Everything to the left of negative half and negative half are included in this interval. So all real numbers less than or equal to negative half is graphed on the number line. So the upper limit, the highest it can go, is up to negative half. Anything to the left, remember there's no limit, it can be any number to the left, so we need to use negative infinity. Remember that negative half is included. This square bracket says include negative half, and that's how we solve the inequality. Now we're going to solve this inequality, and just like an equation, we need to simplify both sides completely first before we try to solve it. So use the distributive property. 5 times x is 5x. 5 times positive 4 is plus 5 times 4, 20. Plus 2 times x is 2x. Positive 2 times negative 2 is negative 4, is less than or equal to negative 4x plus 1. Simplify by combining all the x terms or the like terms. 5x plus 2x is 7x plus 20 minus 4 is 16, is less than or equal to negative 4x plus 1. Now we have an x term on the right and x term on the left. We need to combine these terms. We need to move all the x's to one side if we're trying to solve either an equation or an inequality, which means I get rid of the 4x on the right by adding 4x on the right and on the left. So these two cancel each other out, which means it becomes a 0. 0 plus 1 is 1. 7x plus 4x is 11x plus 16 is less than or equal to 1. Now remember, we're trying to get x by itself, so we need to get rid of the plus 16 by subtracting 16 on the left and on the right. Plus 16 minus 16 becomes a 0. 11x plus 0 is 11x, less than or equal to 1 minus 16 is negative 15. And now we have to divide both sides by 11 to get rid of the 11, so we can get x by itself. 11 is a positive number, so the direction of the inequality remains unchanged. Negative 15 over 11. So we cancel the 11s, and x is less than or equal to negative 15 over 11. So this is the set of all numbers less than or equal to negative 15 over 11. So if I'm looking at the number line, and 0 is this, negative 15 over 11, let's say is this, and everything to the left is included. So we have everything to the left, which means anything less than or equal to negative 15 over 11 is included, and negative 15 over 11 itself is included, so it's a solid dot. So this is the graph of the set of all numbers less than or equal to negative 15 over 11. And in the interval notation, it is everything to the left of, which means it goes on indefinitely. It can be any number. So this would mean negative infinity, comma, the upper bound, the largest that x can be, is negative 15 over 11, and I'm going to include negative 15 over 11. So this square bracket means include the end point, and this would mean exclude the end point. Inclusion would be a solid dot. Exclude, we'd have to leave a little hole there, everything except that one point. We'll look at another quick example. Like we did before, we're going to simplify both sides completely first. So use the distributive property. 2 times x, 2 times positive 1 is 2. Remember, this is negative 5 times x, which is negative 5x. Negative 5 times negative 2, 2 negatives, positive 5 times 2 is 10, is less than or equal to x plus 3. We combine the like terms, combine all the x's here, combine the like terms. 2x minus 5x is negative 3x, plus 2 plus 10 is 12, is less than or equal to x plus 3. Now we need all the x's to be on one side. So I'm going to subtract the x on the right and subtract x on the left, because we have to do the exact same thing on both sides. And we are going to get negative 4x. Negative 3x minus x is negative 4x, plus 12 is less than or equal to positive x plus x minus x makes it a 0. 0 plus 3 is 3. Now we need to get rid of the 12 because we are trying to get x by itself. The first thing we do is subtraction before multiplication or division. It's the opposite of PEMDAS when you're solving an equation or an inequality. Minus 12 on both sides, because we want to move the numbers to the right. We want to get rid of the 12, and that's what we did here. It becomes a 0. Negative 4x plus 0 is negative 4x, is less than or equal to negative 12. Now we need to get x by itself. The reciprocal of -4 is 1/4, which means we divide both sides by -4. I'm going to write this on the next line. I'm sorry. We're going to go -4x divided by -4. And that's the way to get rid of the -4 on the left. We do the exact same thing on the right. But remember, this is important. Multiplying or dividing by a negative number is going to switch the inequality. That's important. It's going to switch, it's going to change the direction of the inequality, because what we've done here is divided by a negative number on both sides. So the next step is these two cancel each other out, and we get x is greater than or equal to 4 goes 3 times into 12. The negatives cancel each other out, becomes a positive. You get x greater than or equal to 3. And now the solution is all numbers greater than or equal to 3. Now let's draw the number line and graph the solution. That's a 0. 1, 2, 3, let's say, is here. And it says greater than or equal to 3. Let me just draw this. So I'm going to graph the inequality. I'm going to put a solid dot because 3 is included, and everything greater than 3 is also included. So all real numbers greater than or equal to 3. So I'm going to include the 3 and everything to the right of it, everything. And that's why there is no upper limit. It goes on to infinity. And this is the interval notation.